Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great day so far, starting off January, kicking off the new year, 10 days in now. And I hope it's everything you could have hoped and wished and dreamed for. So my name is Jay Vix. This is another episode of Meet the Experts. This is episode number 44. And that's just crazy to me. A lot of people say, a lot of people that start these types of podcasts and shows, they get, if they make it past like 2 or 3 episodes, they can keep going. But a lot of people give up really quickly. So to be at episode 44 is exciting. But if you're here and you're like, what the heck is Meet the Experts? Well, let me tell you real quick. So it's a concept that I came up with a while ago where I said, business owners need more video content. They don't know how to do it. They're not going to do it themselves. They're not going to take the time to do anything with it. So we give business owners a chance to tell their story and do it on video. And then we give that video to them. So if you're a business owner, small business owner, looking for some help with video content or just getting more content or any marketing related items, then we should talk. So stick around for after the episode and I'll tell you exactly how you can be a guest on Meet the Experts. But without further ado, today's guest is Ezralea Robbins. Sometimes we might call her Ez if I mess it up. But she owns the Mountainside Spa in Utah. She's also a consultant helping other spa and wellness center owners grow their business. And she's going to talk all about that today. So without further ado, let me get Ez up on the screen. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Jay.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you. I know that, as a skier, I think I mentioned during our sound check last month that if I'm coming to the Salt Lake area, I'm going to have to come see you and book some time with you. So
we have had fabulous powder this year too. I think with feet upon feet, some of the best snow on earth is right in our backyard. And so we're blessed to be right at the base of the ski slopes of Big Cottonwood Canyon. And whenever you're sore, just slide on in.
I love that.
We'll take care of you. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Ez, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, I have grown up a massage therapist and an esthetician in the wellness business my whole career. And in 2006, I was blessed to take over operations in the resort town of Alta. And I took over the operations of spas in the hotels up there. And since then, we have grown and grown and grown due to really great systems and processes, honestly. We're no longer in the mountains. We now have our own local location at the base of Big Cottonwood Canyon in Salt Lake City. And we have a fabulous crew. We offer massage therapy, organic facials with Eminence Organic Skincare, body treatments, meditation, intuitive therapy, energy work, and wellness therapies.
I'm relaxed just by hearing you say that. So
it's our passion in the world to put adults in timeout because we think adulting is hard. No one told us how hard this was going to be.
Yeah.
So critical self-care has become kind of my standing post of let self-care back into who we truly are as people. And when the stress of America can be overwhelming with all of the news and the antics and stuff like that. So that's what we're here for, is to just de-stress your life, get you back to feeling good. If you've had an injury, most of us that are somewhere in our adulthood have smacked our bodies around, and it gets a little achy living. So it really is that body, mind, soul, integration.
Well, I'm so glad you went into that. It kind of covered into the next question, which is some of your main products and services and who they help. So really, I know you said like people who might suffer an injury, but do you have any like examples of some people who your products and services really do help? Like, can you go into detail about that?
Yeah, we have multifaceted of who it helps. We have a lot of our locals and family. We have a membership that come to us monthly and allow their life to just recover, and it's part of their maintenance plan. But I'll tell you, we also have several clients that we have held hands with as they move through cancer treatments and hospice and major injuries and major surgeries and stuff. And it's an honor and a blessing to be able to hold someone at the hardest times in their life. And so I would say we probably have about 5 clients right now that are currently going through some kind of treatment with their doctors. And so we co-collaborate to make sure that, we can help them maintain their livelihood in the best ability possible, as they're moving through serious stress, serious body and heartache, with those kind of treatments.
That's a mission right there. I mean, that blessing and honor that you talk about, to be able to help somebody when they're probably they're scared, right? They're scared. They're immensely tense. I mean, I don't even know what that feels like. I've not been there, right? So the only thing I can do is like imagine what's going through their minds and their bodies as those things happen, and to be able to help somebody in that time has got to be truly, truly
Rewarding and heartbreaking, and we
Yeah.
cry with them, when we find that they're getting their diagnosis. And like I said, we've even had the honor of taking several people through hospice onto their deathbed and attending their funerals and holding hands with their family. And it's I guess the healer's curse and blessing, as we get to be at that side of life with them, to help them recover. But for me, just due to stresses in life and lessons learned, I'm passionate about chasing self-care, chasing joy down, finding as much nutrition for your heart, mind, and soul and your body as possible. Because at the end of the day, this life is short and our family is the most important. And enjoying life, when you get to the end of the days, you want to be able to look back and say, I lived it the best I could and I enjoyed it to its fullest.
That's amazing. I love the analogy of the nutrition for the mind, body, and soul. Like the nutrition, like it just makes so much sense. When you first said nutrition, I'm like, oh, does she help with like dietary needs too? But when you said mind, body, and soul, I was like, that makes so much sense. What a great analogy. So very cool. Hey, question about you. I'm sure you've helped hundreds or thousands of people with different things with their bodies and over time. Are there any like patient client, are they patients or clients, I guess be called?
We call them guests.
Okay.
Essentially they could be patients or
Right.
clients, but we call them guests within our house.
So can you share a guest win or testimonial that maybe just first thing that comes to mind when it comes to things people have said or written about you?
Oh, we have so many phenomenal reviews. It's hard to choose just one, honestly, but I think the best blessing that I get, especially after this pandemic, is the many thanks that I get for pushing through and staying open, because our members just kind of, they're like, thank you so much for being here for us and for making it through this with your team and your crew, and how hard that was, because this is what I needed, especially after being home. We love our family immensely, right? But being in four corners with them, all the time can also be its own stressor. And so that probably is the most recent one. Happened a couple of days ago, where I was just standing with my reception, and a longtime client came out, and she was just like, oh, Ez, thank you so much for pushing through pandemic and reopening your doors and staying open, because I don't want to have to make my days without this in my life. Because as this particular client was a dancer and doing dance, and she's like, I can't perform without the body work. I can't, I can't do all the stretches and performances that she wants to do. So it's just an honor to hear stuff like that, because it was hard. And sometimes I question myself, everyone else is shutting down. Why am I still here? But it really has this is my life's blood and my life's work. And I just love my team and the people that walk through our doors, and to be able to watch them just take that breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It's really funny when they're massage drunk and they can barely sign anything and they're forgetting everything and walking out. That really is one of the best compliments. Like, they can only talk, but we just have tons of amazing reviews of just being able to help people. That our therapy team and our whole team in general just really brings in that ability to adult a little bit better as people go back into their life.
I'm telling you, I've felt the massage drunk before from a couple of good massages. And that's usually when I know if I had a good massage or not. If I'm walking out and I'm like, well, that was an hour, whatever, then I'm like, yeah, but there has been times where I've walked out of a massage and I'm just like mush, right? And I'm like, that was great,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, so you talked about your team staying open through the pandemic, and a lot of really cool stuff in there. And that kind of speaks to the fact that you're really good at what you're doing and good at running a business. So I put the ticker up on the bottom of the screen. You also help consult with other spa and wellness center owners. Can you talk about that for a minute and a little bit about what you do and how you help there?
Yes. So at first it started just word of mouth. I didn't seek out to be a consultant. I had people start seeking me out, which was quite a blessing too. But what I found over time is, because we were in the ski resorts, before it was cool to be able to run everything from your phone, I was doing that because I didn't want to drive 20 minutes to answer a question. And so I just really created very streamlined, easy systems that help with my company communication, help my team know how to answer their own questions, and empower them to make certain decisions, and to take ownership within themselves too. And so that's what I teach. I think my golden wheelhouse is I teach business owners SOPs, how to write their systems and operation process manual, how to put it into play from hiring to critical corrections, treatment plans, how to make reception teams work, so that, because at the end of the day, a lot of times in a service-based business, you can get stuck doing a lot of things on the table still, in doing the service. And at the end of the day, you've created yourself a big job. And so I found where I was able to create myself into the CEO of my business. I have the ability to leave my business for a month at a time. I can monitor it from my phone. I can answer anything from Mexico or wherever I might be in the world. And it was a superpower I wasn't really aware that I was building at the time. But now, as I teach others, they're just like, wow, you mean I'm going to be able to take my service business beyond just me working? And some of that came from lessons learned in life, right? Not just running a business that was on the mountain, but I had a car accident at some point in my career, and I couldn't work as a massage therapist or esthetician for a bit. So I had these stepping stones in place that allowed me to keep working and gain residual income as my own body healed. And so that's really what I teach within this business, is to create your stepping stones, create easy, automatic booking systems, communication systems that your clients and your team can understand, and how to make decisions within a business, because some of the decisions are easy, but some of them are really hard. and how to logically make those decisions. So we map all of those out for owners, and we can, on the very high end, we can do it all for you. We make you wear a camera and we'll do it all for you, and we'll break it down and write your manuals for you. And then on the very low end, we'll walk you through it, through some of our classes so that you can build your own systems. And then we'll just help you edit the final manuals and send you a book.
That is incredible. There's a couple of things like that you were saying. One is we have a software that we've recently launched called Journey Builder, and that's, we help people map out their customer journey from stranger to raving fan, and there's automations along the way and booking systems and emails and all the things that the SOPs would. It's basically the tools and tactics in one software. So that resonated hard with me. The other thing that I think was something that you shared, and maybe just kind of a follow-up on that. I talk with a lot of business owners. I run a business. I've been around a lot of businesses. And one of the things, and I think this is kind of a pitfall or a scary thing, and maybe you've got some tips on how to circumvent this. Sometimes people write down systems and processes, and then that book sits on a shelf and collects dust because they're like, oh gosh, I wrote it, but then nobody's going to use it. Mm-hmm. Has that been something you've heard a lot of too? And what are some ways to make sure that stuff's getting implemented?
I have seen that a lot. We've seen it in our own place too, where people were bypassing the book and coming straight to me, and it got really overwhelming. So we actually retooled our systems. We create a live book that can be edited at any time and kind of continue on. And we keep pointing back with we use Slack for company communication. I like work to stay at work.
Yep.
And so our team, one of the things we do is we empower our team. We put our books in the back. We also have them online. And then we use that communication system and we point the way, hey, go look it up. Hey, here this is. We do have, when someone onboards though with us, we have a certain training protocol, and it starts from day one. And we have it really mapped out where we show them this is the way you play in my sandbox.
Right.
And I'm not your go-to person. If you come to me for everything, I'm going to fail you. And I tell my team that I am going to fail you if you bypass that book and come to me for everything, because I am only human. Right. And I do make mistakes. But if you lean into the team as the whole, if you lean into our communication properly, it allows there to be a host of people that can help you answer those questions. And one of the ways that I do kind of make that work is we always have a manager in play, but we also have someone that is usually behind them, like their assistant, that is learning the same material and can, kind of building up their leadership skills that feel empowered to, just answer questions as well. Mm-hmm. And we've made it a cohesive environment that way to give everyone the support that they need. So that way, if a manager steps away or they're on vacation or, they give notice and they're leaving, we always have someone that is ready and partially trained to move to the next step. And then we find another assistant that is wanting to gain those skills as well.
That's great. I mean, it's, you look at it and like, even in Broadway, they have understudies, right? There's always like that somebody who's preparing just in case their time gets called, right? In sports, it's the same way. So, so we only got a couple more questions. This has been really, really fun. The next one is, I call it Earned It, Learned It, Improved Your Authority. Any titles or certifications or cool things that you've acquired along the way that say this is what you do?
Well, a multitude of spas that we have ran for many, many years, and some contracts we still have, some we've given up. We've got that. But I guess one of my, aside from spa awards that we've won and stuff, I guess let's go with Learned It.
Okay.
8 years ago, I think it's been 8 years now, my business, I was able to enter into the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. I got a scholarship for that, and it sets up such solid foundations in my business, but also gave me an alumni crew of business owners that I could lean into. And what helped me, and most business owners know this, if you have any length of business in it, we're a different breed. You have to speak amongst business owners with the frustrations, because anyone that hasn't owned a business does not get it. Right. They don't understand that I'll work 80 hours for myself, but I can't do 40 hours for someone else. So I find being around business owners really rewarding, because it validates that, okay, I'm not just fumbling and stumbling here. This is how business grows. And it also gives me a higher target too, because one of the things I found is I only could view this horizon, and you start playing with other business owners and your horizon moves big time, you know, when you see what others are willing to accomplish or willing to hold, and it makes you go, oh, maybe I could do that too. I've never thought about that. So my learning kind of, I was not traditional college. I didn't have that support system. I'm a School of Hard Knocks and a College of Google girl. That's how I grew my business. So the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Scholarship was the first traditional style education that I really had. Before and after that, I've put myself in a multitude of consulting, and myself, I always have a mentor on board. Since then, I've done a master's of operations, of business operations. So I just learn how to put the nuts and bolts together and make it easier and easier. As of recently, over the last year, one of the bigger things that we've done is we've found some critical hardships within the massage therapy industry itself. Like many businesses, the workforce kind of crashed. We had a multitude of people that retired out of the industry, some that changed fields, and we honestly couldn't find enough team, to do the job that a professional needs to do. You have to be professionally licensed. And so being in Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses allowed me to meet other veteran therapists and spa owners that have grown their business like I have. And so we joined together and we started doing something about it as veteran therapists. We've sat down and talked to our governor about the challenges that we've had through Goldman Sachs Voices. And then we led a team through legislation to help build stepping stones that is more conducive to what we're looking for in professionals, meaning that we kind of created an elementary for massage so that you can kind of come in here and do peer-to-peer workmanship on a smaller program and make sure that the industry is a right fit for you before you're investing into a massage college or an apprenticeship. And so we have worked with, it's Utah Massage Employers has worked with our legislation and our industry and veteran therapists that have grown good-sized businesses to really take a hard scope look at our business, at the schools, at what's going on in the industry in our state. And we also view it across the country and have a huge passion to teach it. So I guess legislative work has, been a stronghold that we've gone to and talked and had to have some blows within our own communities and stuff. But at the end of the day, the legislation and the apprentices are passing because I believe that this industry, while you can learn it in school, is very good. If anyone has been through an internship or a journeymanship, you know that kind of close to close one-on-one, two-on-one learning, being in the environment that's actually working tends to be the highest knowledge that you can achieve.
I could not agree more. I was just saying on a recent episode too, like I went to HKU, right? Hard Knocks University, like just everything I've done through, we're very similar in that regard. Like it's just, I've learned by doing, I've learned by asking. And I think that as business owners, you're 100% right. Like I'm in a community where I'm with other business owners. We meet regularly. I'm in a community of just digital marketers. We meet regularly. My certified partnership with digital marketer. And I think that I've learned more just by associating and asking and being a part of people who get what I'm doing way more than anybody else. And you said something about, I can work 80 hours for myself, but I can't work 40 for others. I've often said as an entrepreneur, we are just unemployable people. Like we cannot stand working for somebody else. We can't do it. We just can't, because we're going to want to tweak, tinker. We're going to want to do things our way. And then, and hopefully get humbled enough along the way to learn those lessons to make our businesses stronger. I used to say, I want to go in business for myself and be my own boss. And for the first 8 years, all I did was just got a bunch of bosses to pay me money monthly.
It feels like you're not your own boss. You just have a team of bosses.
A team of bosses here, right.
Between even vendors or partnerships that you might have, or even your team, for us, our team has the voice to be able to say, hey, boss lady, right, that doesn't work for me. How about we find a different solution, But that's just how we've empowered our team in having a voice and in their humanness and their growth spurts too.
Phenomenal. Got 2 more questions. This is gonna be one of our longer episodes, but I think, there's been so packed full of lots of really good stuff and nuggets that I'm really excited to have a little bit of a longer episode and have you get all that content that you can use. But slow it down a little bit. And we've kind of talked about this a little, but if I were just to say, and open it up, not just professionally, personally, whatever. If I just said, what's something you're thankful for? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, always my family, always my family. But the fact that I get to do this, I get to hold people in their hardest hours sometimes. I get to consult and advise people. I get to live my passion and what I love, and I've always been able to do that. So I would say that's the thing that I really find a privilege, is that if you look at this life, a lot of times we show up to work and it's like, oh, I got to do this. You don't got to do anything. I get to do this, and I get to choose into it. And so I really enjoy the privilege of that freedom and what it gives me. And even though I work really hard for it, it's not always bright and shiny stars. I still love the hard work, and I love what I get to do, and the people that I meet from all over the world. In the resorts is phenomenal. You meet people from every walks of life, and it's really allowed me to change my opinion and my perspective on people. That, one of the things that I see often today is we'll group people together. Mm-hmm. All corporations are bad. No, mm-hmm. Corporations have personalities just like each individual. And so it's allowed me to widen my perspective and just take each human for who they are, and they're good and they're bad and ugly, and just be compassionate. So
that was a tremendous answer. And I get so upset when I see people just saying all this are this way, right? Because I'm like, no, they're not all that way. But that's we could go deep on that topic for a long time. But it bothers me too. I don't like grouping, collective, making everybody, this lumping people together. But hey, so one more question, and this is a good one to do on video. I want you to truly take advantage of this question now. There are probably questions that you get asked over and over and over again, right? You probably just just you're ready for them at this point. Or maybe it's just some objections that you might hear along the way. Some people might feel a certain way, or they're nervous about this or that. So a lot of websites, they put FAQs on their site, right? And because they're frequently asked questions. So what are some of those questions that you get or objections that you overcome? And let's put the answers on video so that maybe you can act as a 24/7 answer for these.
Well, often in consulting with the small business and those just moving out of private practice, the pushback that I hear is that, oh, that's a little expensive. And, my answer to that is it doesn't feel expensive when you're sitting on the beach in Mexico and your business is still paying you.
Yeah.
And often people can hire me to help them build it the first time, or they hire me to help them fix it because they have critical issues going down and their business is about to fall down. So at the end of the day, when people are looking at the expense of a mentor, I've always got a mentor on board. They always help me about double whatever their price is, if not triple it. That would be one of my common things that I hear. And honestly, I'm just like, if I'm too expensive for you, I'm not the right person, because I feel like it's actually quite a good value in writing an SOP manual, whether you want to do it yourself or whether you want us to do it for you. The other questions I think I get is, how often should you have body work, or should you be, doing meditation or facials and stuff? It's a very common question. And we have a monthly membership, and really that is individual, but if you live in America, at least once a month for body work is what I would say. Skincare, I know it's not a big thing for men, but for women, the women that I see that age so gracefully without medical aesthetics have phenomenal skin because they have opted into once a month facials and stuff like that. And then meditation is a daily practice that we encourage people to do daily and teach within our studio as well. And it's also one of the things I take business owners on retreat with me too. We pull them out of their businesses. We go to, we've done Sedona, we've done Southern Utah, we've done Costa Rica. And one of the great things about that is we teach them how to manage their energy. And so I often get, how do you get out of the overwhelm? And what I would say is take yourself out of your business, work on your business. And one of the things that I teach on retreat is how to maximize your energy. And we take every task that you do in your life personally and in your business, your marketing, and we have you map it out emotionally. And then we put you in your lane of what really fills you up. And we teach you to delegate what drains you dry. And I honestly don't believe that we can give away everything that drains us. If you have babies and you're changing dirty diapers, it's no fun. You can't give it away, right? But, if we have more that is filling us up, then we can handle the hardship of life. And so that's where we really take our business owners to. And at that same time, we take what you're good at, put you in your lane. A lot of my work is putting my owners in their lane. What's your superpower, and how can you find the support that you need for the things that aren't your superpower? And then we map out how to do that throughout a year and stuff.
That's good. Those are definitely some great answers to some really good questions. And I've had that same question. I know we're gonna wrap it up here, but how often is enough for massage? And I've always come to the kind of a similar conclusion. I said, well, I try for once a month. Now, do I make that happen? No, I don't. I would love to, but 4, 5, 6 a year, and I had a pretty okay year, but it's better than not going. So, but I would love to get to that monthly, that monthly, have that as a goal, and maybe just plan it out and set appointments for 12 months and just do it, and I think would be a good way to go.
a lot of our members, that's why they have the membership. They're like, oh, I see that come through. And I remember it's my turn now.
Yes. Oh, I like that. My turn.
So, yeah.
Well, Ezralea, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking about just not only how we can take care of ourselves, but how we can also grow our businesses, and really a lot of good business lessons in there. So again, at the bottom of the screen, we have the ticker. If you want to contact Ez about growing your spa and wellness business, book a 30-minute consult, and that URL there, I've left it up for probably 25 minutes. So you should be able to write that down and take it. But Ez, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always such a pleasure.
All right. We'll talk soon. Take care. That was awesome. I love when an interview turns more from just what they're doing in their business to just being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. Those are some of my favorite interviews. And if you want to be a future guest on Meet the Experts, come tell your story, just like Ezralea did. And you just come and let's talk about what you have going on and what you're good at and what some of your superpowers are. I encourage you to come be a guest on Meet the Experts. Look, it doesn't cost anything. I'm happy to interview you, bring you into my fold, get to know you, build a relationship with you. I do the interviews at no cost. If you need help promoting the interview, when we're done, we can take care of that too. We can give you about a year's worth of social media content, press releases, upload to all the podcast platforms. We can take care of the exposure from the episode. But I think at the end of the day, what's really most important is you get on and you actually start to get a little more comfortable creating video content, which is everything. I mean, video content is everywhere. It's everything. People are consuming more video now than any time in history. And I think we're still scratching the surface. So if you want to be a guest on Meet the Experts, all you have to do is go to meettheexpertspodcast.com, www.meettheexpertspodcast.com. Simple application form, and I'll talk to you soon. Our next episode is this Thursday. We are booked every Tuesday and Thursday all throughout January. So tune in at 11 Eastern this Thursday for our next episode, and take care, everybody. We'll see you.